Welcome to the ghost town of Foley, Ontario in Oshawa. This was the original Four Corners, and we are looking south. Most of the buildings existed right there in the vantage point we see, but of course they're long gone. Now we're panning to the east. As you can see, urban sprawl is completely taking over the area. And now we are about to head north up Harmony Road. More urban sprawl coming, and we're panning around to the west. And if you look closely at the Four Corners, that's where the post office once existed. More history coming soon. The small post office community of Foley was once located on lots 4 and 5 on Concession 4 of the township of East Whitby. Today, this is located in the city of Oshawa at the corner of Harmony Road and Conlin. It was named after J. Foley, a property owner in the area. In 1874, farmers in East Whitby formed a club called the Foley Farm Club. Members met at various locations in the township in order to discuss topics of interest to farmers and to engage in debates. The community was first known as Williamson, named after its first postmaster, Thomas Williamson. Foley supposedly had approximately 150 inhabitants in 1873 within its postal confines. It was shown on the 1877 Belden Atlas map of East Whitby. A post office was in operation here between July 1863 and December 1909. The new rural route mail delivery service offered by the Royal Mail came to the area shortly after the post office's closing. Most of the homes existed on the east side of Harmony Road, just south of Conlin Road from 1870 up until the 1980s. Now there is nothing there but a field. The Kedron area to the west was also part of the Foley post office confines. The Eland Pioneer Cemetery was to the northwest and will also be discussed later in this video. Right here at this intersection is where most of the businesses existed. Local business people included T. Armstrong, a blacksmith, Mrs. Maxwell, the hotel keeper, A. Kerr, a shoemaker, and J. Lewis, a wagon maker. Here is a pioneer homestead just north of the Four Corners, and now we're looking north up Harmony Road before they widened the road. And as I mentioned before, the Elam Pioneer Cemetery was attached to the community. It's just northwest of Foley, and this is the aerial view of the Elam Pioneer Cemetery at Winchester and Wilson Roads. You can see the forest, and we have some history coming up. Elam Pioneer Cemetery is one of the best kept secrets in the city of Oshawa. It has but one headstone left, and the rest are now gone. It has a single tall epitaph marker at the entry point by the woods. Transcriptions are reprinted from an older reading at the Oshawa and District Historical Society. The cemetery is hidden from the road behind trees and appears to have been a private burying ground with a church right beside it in the 1800s. It was located at the southeast corner of Henry Graham's farmstead, which today would be at the northwest corner of Wilson Road and Winchester, in the township of East Whitby, formerly, now the city of Oshawa. The city had industrial land plans for the area called the Kedron Zone. Elam Cemetery is one of the historical sites to be preserved in this planned area. As I walked into the grounds, it was hard for me to imagine skeletons were below my feet. Here are the names that once appeared on the former grave markers: Henry Graham, Mary Graham, Robert Graham, Catherine Raycard, Jacob Raycard, Mark Raycard, David Stevens, Fanny Stevens, Mahala Stevens, Walter Stevens, and Mary Underwood. The only remaining headstone marker, which is in front of the tall cemetery epitaph, is that of Elizabeth Postel. Elizabeth was the daughter of William and Sarah Postel, who died May 22nd, 1863, aged 17 years old. And her marker says, "Farewell, my friends and parents dear. I am not dead, but sleeping here. My God took me when I was young. Weep not. His will, it must be done." William was born in England about 1821, as was Sarah. They emigrated here sometime before 1846, as Anna, their oldest child, was born in Upper Canada. I suspect they came to Canada along with two of William's brothers, Stephen, who settled in Vaughan Township, and James, who settled in York. James and his wife Margaret had 3 children, including Sarah Ann Postel. In the 1851 census of Canada, William is listed as a farmer in the township of Whitby. In the 1861 census of Canada, the family is listed as living in a 1.5-story frame house in East Whitby. Elizabeth, who would die 2 years later, is listed as Anne E. Postel. There was some confusion as they had another daughter named Eliza. Eliza married after the death of Anne. There are no death records before 1869, unfortunately, so we were unable to find Anne's cause of death. I'm assuming from the 1871 census that the Postel family was farming on the property owned by John Lee, who had 4 different parcels of land in the area of the Elam Cemetery. Somewhere between 1871 and 1881, the Postel family packed up and moved to Lambton, another part of Ontario. Eliza and Frederick married and settled locally. The rest of their children had followed and had settled down, had children, and were farming near their parents in the area. In the 1901 census, William and Sarah were no longer farming and were living in the home of their son George. William died on the 11th of March, 1905. His cause of death is listed as senile debility. Sarah died just a few months later on the 13th of senile paralysis. William was listed in the death records as being a farmer on Lot 7, Concession 2 in the county of Lambton, township of Enniskillen, which again is elsewhere in Ontario. They were lucky to have lived such a long life together. They were both 83 at the time of their deaths, and it must have been difficult for them to lose their daughter at age 17.